Hello, good morning, welcome, day two. I'm just setting up. It's a couple minutes, maybe 1 minute before we'll start officially. How is everyone doing today? I hope you enjoyed yesterday's class on the pelvis, the core, and neutral spine. So important for keeping your back, your low back, healthy and strong during your golf swing. So if you have any comments or questions about what we did yesterday, I'd love to hear them in the comments under our video from yesterday. Just leave them in the chat. And today, day two, we're going to be looking at shoulders. Also, another tricky piece of anatomy, and but so important for your golf swing. So I'm going to lead this off. Coming up to standing, I'll just make sure we're all good to go. I think we're rolling. So without further ado, let's get started. So shoulders. Shoulders, people come to me with issues around their shoulders all the time. This is not an uncommon area to have challenges in, strain in, struggles, weakness, imbalance, and it's pretty common because of how we live, right? Our arms are in front of us. So sitting at a desk, working on a computer, doing the kinds of things that we do in our modern world takes the arms forward and often rounds the back and brings the shoulders forward. That is not an optimal position to be in for a golf swing. So as we talked about yesterday in our neutral spine angle, we actually need the shoulders to live on the back to maintain a nice, long, healthy spine. If the shoulders themselves are coming forward or rounding over the body because the chest muscles are tight, the pecs and some of these internal rotators in the shoulders themselves are tight, everything gets pulled in, we get this collapsed chest, it's very difficult to breathe. We talked about breathing yesterday, and the spine angle you can see from me here is now compromised, it's rounded. And if I start to try to create a good movement around that rounded spine, first of all, it's very unsafe, and secondly, it's very inefficient. So you're not gaining your most strength and control that you could have if the shoulders were in a better position. So it's not just the shoulders, right? The shoulders are connected to and directly affect the chest as well as the back. And the back of the shoulder blades being the key here. So we're going to start this morning learning how to slide and glide the shoulders. So creating more movement around the shoulder blades, starting to become more aware of the back body such that we start to think about the shoulders as living on the back rather than living in the front. That's really super important, really key to posture, and again, just healthy shoulders and a good setup. We want to be thinking of the shoulders living on the back rather than in front. Okay, so sliding and gliding. Let's begin. You could do these sitting, you can do these standing with me, and you can certainly do these at the golf course before your round. I would encourage you to do so. So let's just start with the shoulders in some pretty basic movements, but I'll tell you they feel good and they're incredibly powerful to getting you better shoulder function. So don't forego them because you think they're too simple. Simple is often the key. So we begin by lifting the shoulders, rolling them back and down. We're going to do 6 shoulder circles, big ones. So inhale, lift the shoulders up, roll them back and down. I want you to think about sliding not just the arms and the shoulders up and down, but the shoulder blades. So on your back, lift the shoulder blades up, bring them closer together, and then slide them down. Shoulders, shoulder blades up, back, and down. Again, up, back, and down. The bigger you can make these, the better. Really go for it. See if you can make them juicy so they create more movement than you maybe think is there, getting some blood, circulation, and starting to move the tissue to free it. Because if the shoulders are stuck, there's no slide and glide. There's no ability for you to position them better because it's basically stuck like Velcro, the shoulder blade onto the tissue of the back. Okay, now let's just go up and down. Slide them up, slide them down. How about the breath? Let's just take our breath, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Now when you exhale and slide the shoulders down, I want you to think of bringing the shoulder blades, the tips down here, down and across to your opposite hip pocket. Imagine two pockets. You're going to put your shoulder blades down and across into the pockets. Up and down. Think of that letter of X coming across the body. Shoulder blades down to the hip pockets. Two more. One more time. Beautiful. Okay, the next one, let's do with the club. So if you've got your club handy today, just bring it in front. If you don't have one with you, that's fine. Just hold your arms in front of you at about shoulder height. Now here what I want us to do is slide and glide the shoulder blades forward and back. So this is forward or protraction. You feel the shoulder blades come wide and you notice that upper back rounds a bit. And then squeeze them back together or retract, bringing your shoulder blades towards center. And as we do this, we again want to encourage the motion to be gliding. The shoulder blades gliding forward, the shoulder blades gliding back. What I don't want to do is bend my elbows, so I'm not pulling with my arms this way. I'm moving from the scapula, the shoulder blades on my back. Try 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. And relax the arms. Okay, so we did some shoulder rolls, big and juicy. We did some sliding up and down, bringing the shoulder blades down into the hip pockets. And then we added a little bit of protraction, retraction, so we can feel the connection of the shoulder blades moving back and the connection of that with the muscles on the back body. Finally from here, let's go into some bigger stretches that include more of the torso. So I'm bringing my club over my head. Now if you can't get all the way into parallel lines with your ears, just work with where you can bring your arms. So it might be a little bit lower today. If you can, I'd like you to bring the arms up over in line with the ears so we can move into a side bend. And as I do this side bend, because the focus is shoulders, reach the top arm up. It's less about collapsing in the bottom side waist, and it's more about lengthening through the top. And then come back to center. Let's do the same side again. The beautiful thing here with the club is I can gently reach the club head up with my top arm and gently pull down with the other. So you're going to feel that stretch coming all the way through your side body. This is really key. And we'll come down, give that a little release, and change your arms. Why is it key? Well, those muscles on the back that connect from your shoulder blades down to your hips, if it gets locked and stuck, again, there's no tissue movement. That glide is inhibited, and we get a loss of range of motion. So we need to include not only the arms and shoulders, the chest, the back, and the side body. So we brought the arms up again. Take a breath in, and as we exhale, we'll go to the opposite side, reaching that top arm up, giving a little gentle pull with the bottom. And inhale, center. Reach the top arm up. Good. Legs should feel nice and steady here as well. Remember the core we talked yesterday about how the breath helps draw the low abdomen in. Can you sense that as you're doing these, please? So use your breath to draw the core muscles in. Think a little bit of that navel to spine. Here you go. And up. Good. And then lower your arms. And give your shoulders little circles. How are we doing? Okay. So one more with the club. And again, these are great warm-up drills just to do before you get onto the tee box. You could do them at home. You could do them when you arrive at the course. Back up to shoulder height. You probably want to take your arms fairly wide, so holding the club the length of the club. I've just got a 6-iron here. And I'm going to start to draw my hands across the body. Arms stay straight. The back hand is pulling back. The front hand is resisting on the head, which is nice. I've got that bit of pull, and I can move my arms in this plane. You're going to notice that there's a stretch on that back arm in the shoulder, on the front of the chest, and there's a stretch on the front arm in the shoulder at the front capsule. So in golf, because we have such an asymmetrical movement, you know, we need to be able to have good range of motion, good healthy tissue in both shoulders when they're doing different things. Now, how's that feeling? Might start to be getting a little bit tired. It's kind of exhausting if the shoulders are tight to move too much. So we want to stretch them, but I don't want you to get pooped here. So let's just do a few more. 2, and last one. And then bring the arms down. Okay, give that a little roll. Good. Now go ahead and take your setup position, just bringing yourself with the club in front. Feet hip width apart. Finding that neutral hip hinge that we did yesterday. And then becoming thoughtful about your upper back and shoulders now. So when you bring your arms forward, are you someone who rounds through that upper spine, letting those shoulders come forward? We want to think of that retraction, bringing them back, sliding them down towards the hip pockets, and open across the chest. Take a breath in, take a breath out, and then just stand up. So awareness is super important. We can't change a habit that we don't know we have. So where do your shoulders normally live on you? That's a habit. That's a muscle imbalance. But more so, becoming aware of it, you can start to create a different position. We're going to move down onto the mat, and we're going to try a couple of exercises specific for strengthening that area of the body, the upper back, the posture, and the back of the shoulders, so we can get this picture a little bit more pulled together with some strength now. So coming onto your mat, when we do these back extensions, a lot of people find them difficult for a variety of reasons. And often it's because also the core isn't very strong or connected to supporting the body in these shapes. So again, be mindful. We're not just moving the arms here. We need to be aware that the core is on board. And like I always like to say, core before. Core before. So we're coming down onto the tummy. You can have a pillow underneath your forehead so that you have length in your neck that feels comfortable. The first exercise is called a T lift. So the arms are going to be out to the side of your shoulders, straight out like a T, with your thumbs turned up to the sky. Now I'd like you to think about those core muscles. Draw your stomach wall gently in, and then begin to lift your arms up towards the ceiling and back down. Every time you lift the arms, you're exhaling, and you're thinking of bringing the stomach muscles in at the same time as you lift those arms. Thumbs are pointing up. We're reaching wide. Let's take 4 more. Stomach in. I'm breathing out as I lift. One more time. And then go ahead and just bend your arms and relax your head to one side. Take a moment. Okay, how'd that go? That was number 1. Number 2 has the arms behind you. And if your club is handy, I'd like you to bring it behind your hips. So just resting it on the back side of your pelvis, down towards the back of your legs. I'm holding the club with my hands so my palms are turned up towards the ceiling. Now this time, it's all about getting the shoulders onto the back first. So remember that sliding and gliding. Protraction is where those shoulders will naturally start because they're falling towards the floor. So I'd like you to rotate your shoulders away from the ground, bringing them closer together. And once you've done that, we start to lengthen the club towards the feet and lift ever so slightly off the floor. So this is a small lift. It's a hover. The shoulders are back and the hands are reaching. And then we come down. You just relax your arms. Now you might feel you need to take the club wider. If your shoulders are tight, that's okay. Work eventually to get your hands closer to touch the sides of your legs. We begin. Shoulders rotate towards each other. And then as you exhale, pull the stomach in, lengthen into a little hover, and think of sliding the shoulder blades down to your hip pockets. So we're moving those shoulder blades downward. And then return to the mat. We're going to do 3 more. Rotate the shoulders away from the floor. There's our retraction. Exhale, hold the stomach in, lengthen up, reach your hands, reach the club. So you're reaching to your feet, and down we come. Last 2. Rotate the shoulders up onto the back. Exhale, lifting up, little hover. You don't need to go far. Take another breath. Exhale down. And our final one. Roll the shoulders onto the back. Stomach is pulled in. Exhale as you lengthen upward. Now just stay here and give your arms little tiny presses. And as I do this, I'm thinking of moving from my shoulders. Move the shoulders back. Move the shoulders away from the floor. Bringing them together. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And lower down. Ooh, and rest. You can put your club down to the side. Good. Okay, well done. Give yourself a little press up and coming onto the hands and knees. Now cat stretches or what's sometimes called cat and cow in yoga, is a wonderful spine stretch, but it's really a great one for the shoulders as well, in terms of figuring out how to move through your upper back so you feel that sliding downward action that we've been talking about. So you can open the chest. Remember, you don't want to be at the club at the ball strike position with the shoulders forward and a collapsed chest. That puts a lot of strain in the shoulder joints and all the way through the spine. So we're going to take 3 or 4 cat stretches here today, where we focus on how we come out of the rounded position. So if you're unfamiliar with this move, the hands are under the shoulders, the pelvis is neutral, there's that nice neutral angle. We've got the core muscles, stomach wall pulled in to start. We take a deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, we're going to curl the spine slowly from the pelvis. So I'm bringing my tailbone under me, I'm rippling upward through my spine. It's a big stretch, as much as you can create this shape. Now this is putting the shoulders into that retracted or wide position. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, let's lead from the head. The head starts to lead forward. As you do, think of sliding your shoulders towards your hip pockets, opening your chest, lengthening your spine. Take a breath in. Starting again, tail will curl. So we're moving from the bottom of the spine up the chain, slowly moving, stretching, widening. Take a big breath. Now we're moving from the top, from the head. As you start that action, feel those shoulder blades sliding down towards your waist, widening your chest, reach the heart forward. One more time. Here we come. Tail curls, abdomen pulls in, press the floor away. Feel that upper back is rounding, stretching. Now breathe. Here we come. The head starts to lengthen forward. I bring my chest through. Shoulder blades are sliding away from the ears and stretch out long. Okay. Open your knees a little bit. Bring your toes to touch and just glide your hips back. I'm going to finish with a nice stretch here today with the arms both to one side of your mat, hips towards your heels, and just allow your head to come down. Take a couple of deep breaths here, stretching all the way through that side body, from the hip right up to the armpit. Let's take one more breath here. And then bring your hands over to the other side. So you feel this nice long stretch from the hip, over the side body, through the ribs, through the armpit and shoulders. Take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through the mouth. You want to really try to lengthen that tissue using your mind's eye, using that awareness of breath, thinking about stretching that line from hip to fingertips. And then come on up and either have a seat or come on up. Wonderful. Give your shoulders a little release. How do they feel? Nice and tall, open chest. Shoulders on your back. So remember, when you go to pick up your club, the power that you create through your body into your swing is delivered via your body, your torso, your legs, to your hands. Your hands are the only thing connected to the club. So all of that energy has to be transferred to your hands. Well, what connects your hands to the club? Your shoulder blades, your shoulders. So it really is important that you start to think about being able to bring your shoulders onto the back so you can start to harness and utilize your power. Okay, friends, I'll leave it at that for today. Good luck with those stretches. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, or send me a personal message if you need a little bit more clarity on something that you don't want to share publicly. I'll be happy to get back to you. All right, until tomorrow, keep well, move well, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.